Hello, I'm Jose Fox and you're watching the City News headlines at 12. It's been a year since London first locked down and London Mayor Sadiq Khan is pledging £6 million to reboot the capital's economy. £1 million of that will be going towards attracting UK tourists to London. Domestic visitors are hoped to make up for the lack of international tourists this summer, but it's still unclear how many will visit London this summer and what that will do to boost the economy. London MPs are urging the Mayor of London to reconsider the expansion of the ultra-low emission zone. The current zone stops at Angel Station but is due to extend to the north and south circular roads as of October the 25th. Dartford MP Gareth Johnson says the expansion will have huge financial implications on ordinary Londoners. Clean Air Group campaign groups, Lungs for Lungs, are in favour of the change and think that even more could be done to combat air pollution in the capital. As pollution levels continue to grow in the Hackney marshes, residents and environmentalists are pushing for local action to tackle the problem. Plastics, sewage and tyre microplastics are just some of the elements polluting the River Lee, with the river's water flowing into the marshes. Residents have been monitoring the growing levels of waste in the area and say it's out of control. They hope that through more campaigning and creative calls to action, more will be done to restore the beauty of the marshes. Southeast Asian communities in London are in mourning. They are remembering those who have lost their lives to racist hate crime. Since the start of the pandemic, anti-Asian racism has increased threefold. Meg has experienced this firsthand. She recalls instances where she has been pushed and shoved in London streets. She says if she could tell her younger self one thing before travelling to the capital, it would be that it is racist. Expert psychologists say victims of racism enter into fight or flight mode, leading them to frustration or complete shutdown. Meanwhile, organisations such as Hackney Chinese are trying to support Asian communities as they take a stand and demand change. The Mayor and City Hall have launched two programmes to tackle rough sleeping in London. Research suggests the number of people sleeping rough for the first time rose by 13% in Islington this winter, this being in spite of the reintroduction of the Everybody In campaign by the government. The campaign saw the overall numbers of rough sleepers drop by 25% in Islington as a result of its implementation. Local charities say a wider and sustained approach is needed to halt the causes of this across the city. The RNLI have said they are preparing for what could be a very busy summer, with more people than ever expected to holiday in the UK due to travel restrictions. The number of emergency calls are expected to increase. During lockdown, the RNLI have been unable to train as they usually would do, with core teams manning the stations during lockdown. Only now are restrictions being lifted so volunteers can prepare for the summer. The charity warned people to stay safe around winter and ensure they have a mobile phone to call for help. One small community in Islington is rallying together to teach women self-defence for free after increased concerns over the risk of sexual harassment and assault faced by women following the murder of Sarah Everard. Members of the community have taken to Facebook to ask whether locals wanted to volunteer with their self-defence initiative. The group says that offers of support were flooding in within minutes. However, some community members say more needs to be done and express concern that self-defence will not solve the problem. An increase in interest for residential property within the Canary Wharf area has led to predictions of a booming post-pandemic housing market. According to agency research, lettings in the East London's Docklands area has increased 63% from last year. Speculation is that a resurgent economy will prompt many to move to the financial district to avoid long commutes when travelling to work. Hungry shoppers will be happy to hear that Brixton Village Marketplace are running their own mini Eat Out to Help Out scheme, when alfresco dining is allowed back next month. But a number of restaurants are choosing not to take part, as they will be required to co-fund part of the scheme themselves. This adds to growing discontent with the landlords of Brixton Village from the local community. Some of the shops have reported their rent to have doubled since the onset of the pandemic, forcing closures. Billboards, community spaces and local shop windows around Camden have been transformed into a vast outdoor gallery. It's part of an exhibition marking 1 year since the first lockdown began in the UK. The entirely crowd-funded exposé celebrates many people from different walks of life in the area who came together at a time of unprecedented hardship to look after one another. 18 locations across Camden and Kentish Town have been decorated with photographs of people from the community alongside their stories. And the weather, we're looking at some mild spring skies today. It will be mostly cloudy with a few spells of bright sunshine over the next couple of hours. The temperature will stay at a mild 11 degrees throughout the afternoon with highs of 15 degrees. It will start to feel a little colder as we move into the evening with the wind picking up later tonight. In summary, keep those coats close, but look forward to some spring sun on your face over the course of the day. And that's all for now. Join us again at 3:30.